So I want to go over, just some kind of brief features and stuff in Carlson with AutoCAD. Again, we run Carlson on top of Civil 3D because I feel that's just the best use of software, at least for us. Now, there are some things you have to do workarounds if you're using IntelliCAD or if you've got regular AutoCAD, and some people don't mind that, but we have to be production minded and get things happening for our customers as quick as possible. So therefore, that's what we do. This is a parking lot addition that we did for a client. This is done by our engineer, Chad Lawson. Just another great job of his. And I think he originally did this whole parking lot, and they added on to it, and he did the rest. And I've just turned everything on just because I want you to see everything on. And show you a couple neat features here. Now, again, I talked about commands in the article, and you can see when I hover over this says layers Carlson. These are the Carlson version of layers. That is a command that I can take and drop down and put back up. So what you can do is you can right click on a Carlson command and see the other commands that you can use with Carlson, and it works really good. And then I don't know if this is an AutoCAD one here. Yeah, this is AutoCAD, and you can see here I've only got layers and modify, and these are the other AutoCAD ribbon bars that can be stuck up there you can use and kind of decide what you want. I do limited. I do these limited. Everyone's crazy about icons and stuff, and it's okay to do it, but I just, while I'm doing the pull downs, I'm just kind of getting an idea of, just thinking in my head what I'm going to do next, sort of a thing. Another thing is the flyover. You get what the command says and then what it does, a little quick bit of information, which is pretty cool. It makes it a lot nicer, and the Carlson ones are a little bit more basic, but it tells you what you're doing. So one of these things I like is the Carlson layers command. I'm going to freeze a layer by pick. In other words, if I press on this and I click this, it just freezes that whole layer. And I'll get rid of Chad's notes here. And I can get rid of stuff as easy as I want. And then what I can do is I can click on restore layers after I do this, and I can bring back layers that I've isolated. So if I want to isolate a layer, especially like the surface here, I can isolate, hit enter, and then that will restore to the previous set I did. Now the frozen layers to restore, I can come back here and turn them on, or I can go and make a layer state. So let's talk about that. So layer states, it's layer manager, and I use a combination of keyboard and pull down commands. So layer manager brings this up, and you see we've got data 1 and surface only. So data 1 is okay, what do I need to kind of figure out what's going on with this job? Let's get text, and if we have some type of PDF up, I can bring up in the background. That's going to help me out to design this thing and put it together. And I'll type layer manager again. Now, because that command wasn't used, if you right click here, you can see that layer state is the command that will be repeated, and here's the other ones I've done. But what I can do is hit the space bar, or enter, and I'm going to go surface only. I'm going to go to the stuff that Chad made the surface out of, and I'm looking at this, and I'm going to make a surface. And let me show you how easy it is to change things around. Surface only. Let's say I wanted to bring something else in. Now, what he did here, he did a 2-foot offset for the back of curb because we're using a curb machine, and this was just a guidance line for them. So I turn that on and save, and then click on restore. You'll see those white lines just appeared, and those are those curb offset lines that are in here, and they would be part of the surface if I wanted to, or I could come back into that command and edit it again and take those out and save that, and then restore the view, and they're gone. That's how easy you can bring things in and out of the of a layer state to make life easier. And then I would use these to make that surface. And I'm just going to do one more quick thing here before I let you all go. And 3D view, I'm going to do viewpoint 3D. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up, let's say about 60 degrees, and say OK. And what you'll see is that now this thing is kind of tilted, it's rotated. Let me get it closer, 90 for you. Again, hit the space bar to repeat that command. And let me get it up. And now we're just going to look at it and see that I have a visual depth to this surface now that I've got. And I can take and look at it from a different perspective if I want to. That was pretty boring. Let's try another one here. Let's bring it over on this side. And what I can do is do three-dimensional work and see if I've got a problem with that surface not looking right. And that way I can go in and see what's kind of dropping off the bottom, if you will, because that's what happens. It allows me to see any of those lines that are pulled away and don't make a good part of the surface, especially when I start getting all these break lines and contours. It makes kind of a mess, and this way I can look at it and fix it quick and get out of it. Thanks again. Hope everybody's doing well, and we'll see you on the next one.